Having joined a new golf club, it's now time to complete my what's in the bag. All the irons have changed. We have gone for those fitted tour irons, but there's one club left in the golf bag and one space that we all need to fill, and it's with this club. And it's a club I think 99% of people could improve and lower their scores with. So today we are talking about a 7-wood, something that's been in my bag for many a year. We're not talking about any 7-wood, we are talking about the Srixon ZXi. So brand new from Srixon, a club that for me, like I say, has been in my bag for a long time, is going to be incredibly hard to replace. So I have tried hybrids, I have been fitted for a hybrid, but it always comes back to a 7-wood. Because of the versatility, for me it's a club that I thoroughly enjoy. And for reasons like that, straight up the middle, a little bit of a draw into the fairway, and that's put me in position A. But I don't feel like I have to do much. I don't feel like I have to work hard to get that club going where I want it. But we talk about versatility, that's one of the biggest things. Hi guys, if you're new to the channel, then welcome to this YouTube channel. If you want to join us on that journey to 50,000, then hit that subscribe button. And guys, if you're a regular viewer of the channel, welcome back. But today, as you know, I have joined a new golf club, so we are now thinking about what I need to put into my golf bag. So do I need to change those? I've changed my irons. I've been fitted at SGGT for those irons. From there, 4-iron, it is going to be a hybrid or potentially a 7-wood just like this Srixon. But we're going to talk about this Srixon 7-wood because these woods and 9-woods have become more popular in recent years, because for me they make the game a little bit easier. Like we talk about on most videos, we're trying to make the game easier for everybody, and this club certainly could do that for you. Again, you'll have seen with mid-handicap Dave, we've changed his irons, and that's been a big change on the channel and a big change to his scores. But hopefully this 7-wood is a club that would be beneficial around my new golf club. But let's hit a few more and talk about why that is. And as we come up this par 5 here at Lindrick, the 4th hole, you will see that it's scattered with bunkers. The out of bounds is in reach if we do hit driver. So something off this tee, even into the breeze today, is required. And you can see, if I zoom in, we can see the golf ball all the way up there in the fairway. So short of that furthest bunker, but easy to clear these bunkers. And this is where, obviously on your golf course, you'll think about where there might be certain holes where it could be beneficial. But like I say, this is a par 5. We've now got a shot into the green, and can we maybe get it launching a little bit lower? And you're probably thinking, why on earth would you want a 7-wood to launch lower? But this is again for me where I want this to be versatile. It's a club that we don't just think it's going to launch straight into the sky, because a lot of people are put off by these clubs because, and the same with the 9-wood, they think, oh, it's just going to go exceptionally high in the wind, it's going to be no good, so I'll write the club off straight away and I'll go to a hybrid. But a hybrid might not be beneficial. It might not give you the gapping that you require when it comes to, depending where your last iron is, for example. Let's see, into this green, we've got 240 yards now. And yes, you can see that ball flight there, just moving to the left of that sign where the green is. A nice interaction with the turf, but half the flight, so we can get a penetrating ball flight, we can get that launching lower. So straight away, it's ticking boxes, but I've always known I've enjoyed a 7-wood. So let's talk about technology in this club. So we do have the iFlex face, which again is that variable thickness face where we can get better ball speeds from heel to toe. We also have that rebound frame, which we have seen in the driver, which again distributes the weight to get a more solid feel even across the face, also increase ball speed. So we do have that all new adjustable sleeve, so the 1.5 degree, we can go up, we can go down, we can change the lie, so we can fine-tune these clubs to exactly where it might fit in your bag, which for me, I think that's a good thing. Having something that's a set 21 degrees potentially might not fit into somebody's bag, but if we can slightly alter that, the shaft length and the head size and the design could help you instead of going for another fairway wood that you might not be as confident with. And coming down to this 4th green here at Lindrick, the second day we've been back on the full course here, you can see there the nice penetrating 7-wood has got pin high, so it's giving me a chance at an eagle. And you might think, is it a short par 5? Yes, it is a little bit of a shorter par 5, so 2 good hits there, but 2 good hits from a 7 wood for me should be looking at around about 480 yards. Again, it's a little bit downhill, so we might have stretched that out to 500 yards, and you think there, that's still a par 5 distance nonetheless. You've still got to hit those shots, but I've got into the right place off the tee. I've hit it in the fairway, I've got a little bit of run there, and I've left myself a good shot in. We're pin high now, and we've got a chance. So you can see straight away there, yes, I could hit driver. Driver might put me into trouble, but the 7 wood has allowed me just to play nice and easy. I've not tried to overcomplicate this hole, and it can still do a fantastic job. Can we chip in for an eagle? Not a bad contact straight on line, but a little bit short. Let's talk about numbers now. Where does this fit in the bag? How's it going to compare to, let's say, a 4-iron number? Because after all, the performance has to be right, has to tick a number that you need in your golf bag to put it in. And that's what we need to decide for my golf bag. So let's come in here now with the Golf Joy launch monitor, and let's see exactly how far this is going. So let's just see if we've got it all set up. We have. So again, here's a hole, 7th hole here at Lindrick. We could use this off the tee in the summer when it gets firm and fiery, but what's it going? So great strike there, nice high draw, just up the left rough probably there. 150 yards, going 165, so 148 carries. Again, I would say that's an exceptionally good one, slightly downwind here today, but I think that would stop a little bit quicker. It's got us running out there to 100, 260 even. Let's now try and play a low one off this tee. Again, if we needed to, can we flight that down, and what does it do to the numbers? So again, a much lower ball flight there, a little bit out to the right. 120 carry going and 145, which is a number that I would expect for a knockdown one. So interesting there, but let's hit a few more shots out on the course now. Let's get a few more numbers, because there, I'm undecided. But this is one thing for me where it is essential to try and get those clubs you're testing out onto the golf course. If you're getting fitted at your golf club, if they have got a fitting cart, maybe ask your professional saying, can I take it out on the golf course? And just see if you can play the shots out here, because how many times does somebody go to a fitting, hit the driver perfect, but when you get on that tee shot that you don't like, the ball starts to wander. Again there for me, 2 different ball flights, because that's what I was trying to do, but I can play the ball flights that I'm trying to achieve, which for me is exactly what I want to see out here on the golf course. So if we talk a little bit about those 2 shots there off that tee box before we move on, you can see the differences in ball flight straight away on that chart. We can show you we got it below 20 yards and then we got it all the way up to 35 yards in height. So 2 totally different flights, 2 different distances. We can see that would average it out at around about a 233 and going 255, which is probably the number I would play it if I was being honest. But let's get to another hole now where this certainly can be the club. So you join us now on the 8th hole, and again for me this is a 320 yard par 4. So you might think, well, in the summer you might be able to get down there, which is certainly the case, but for me the percentage play here is going with this 7 wood, because if we go with the mid iron, there's a bunker halfway down this hole on the right hand side that often catches those wayward shots. This carries past that and it stays short of the bunkers that protect the green. Again, I'm going to go for that lower ball flight here, and that is a nice mid trajectory, just drawing to the middle of the fairway, and that leaves me a nice wedge into this green. So again, making the hole a little bit easier, playing the percentage play and taking trouble that's here on this hole out of action. And you might say there, well, yes, you could use an iron, you could use a driving iron there to get past the bunker, or you could use a hybrid, yes, but again, here with the fairway wood, we're getting the best of versatility, because we're getting that little bit more forgiveness from having a little bit more club head there. We're getting more weight distributed for those off-centered hits that aren't perfect, that we still will get maybe that little bit more ball speed. And this is where, yes, not every club is going to suit every kind of golfer. Again, you might have tried 7-woods just like mid-handicap Dave, and he's still very much a hybrid kind of guy. That works for better for him. It's a little bit of a shorter shaft, he gets a better strike, and this is where it's fitting to yourself. But it's the club not to overlook, because for me, a lot of people could get rid of maybe a wedge, maybe another iron that you've got towards the top end of your bag that's not really that effective and you're not too confident in, and replace it with something like this. Maybe a 3 hybrid, maybe a utility iron if you still like the look of the iron and you can get the strike and the speed, or if you put the right shaft in it you'll get that anyway, but maybe a 7-wood. So for me, it looks like it could be a club that's going in my bag for here around my new home golf course. Let's hit a couple more for tee. Let's see if we can get that average a little bit more consistent, because after all, it might be time to go down to SGGT and get fitted for the perfect 7-wood. So let's get a couple more numbers now, but have a think in your bag. Where is a gap that you need to replace? What kind of shots do you get time and time again on your course? Maybe you don't hit your drives the best, it leaves you X yardage quite a few times. I'm sure if you go through your last couple of rounds you'll realise that you never had a certain club, or you're maybe not confident with that club you do have from that certain distance. So nice divot and exactly the flight you expect from that 7-wood. Let's see the carry on that. 230 running out to 240. So again, probably closer to what I'd say. That's a little bit high on the face if that shot, if I was being a little bit picky. That's maybe why it was a little bit shorter than on the last, but that's certainly a more playable number, especially into par 5 greens. That flight is going to be very good. Let's see if we can repeat that. That's that low on the face one. Might be a little bit spinny. Let's see what that does. Certainly turning a little bit more. 230, 234, going out to 253. So that's pretty good numbers, and a number that I would like to say fits my bag pretty well. But guys, do you want to see me go and get a full fitting for a 7-wood down with Lawrence at SGGT? Guys, hopefully you're enjoying the content, and if you are, hit that subscribe button and we'll see you again soon.